All right, hello everybody. On another edition of Near Workshops today, we have Sahil, which is a senior dev advocate at Quicknode, a pretty big infrastructure in terms of indexing and RPCs in the whole Web3 ecosystem. And I'm really excited to share that they support Near. And I'm really looking forward to this first workshop on how to create scalable dApps on Near using Quicknode. And yeah, without further ado, take it away, Phil.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So, hi everyone. I am Sarisen and I work with Quicknode on the developer relations team. Today, we will be seeing how you can use Quicknode's near RPCs to create near applications. So, whenever you think of a blockchain application, you obviously have to have a connection to a node or a RPC in technical terms. So RPC is nothing but remote procedure calls. And in this context, it means that you are doing a remote call to a blockchain node. It can be to get some data from that blockchain, or it can be to put some data on the blockchain. And to host these nodes, you have to manage multiple clouds, multiple servers, and that's not very glamorous, or that's not very ideal. And it has a lot of constraints as well. It's not straightforward, it's not easy, and it's very time consuming. So the three main constraints of hosting a node is cost, time, and engineering. So cost, because you have to get specialized hardwares on your cloud or a bare metal machine. You need to get specialized hardware, highly spec RAM, hard disks, and so on. So it will cost you a lot in terms of hardware itself. And then it will cost you a lot of time, because to run a blockchain node, you need to sync the entire blockchain right from the Genesis block, which is the first block of that blockchain. And to sync the entire blockchain, it will consume a lot of time based on your internet provider, which dictates your speed, internet speed, and based on your hardware as well. And then the most important resource of all is engineering, the developer hours. You will have your developers just working on your node, syncing the node from the Genesis block, managing it, and keeping it in sync with the actual blockchain. So that accounts for cost as well, right? Because developer hours are very costly. Developers charge a lot because that's really skilled work, highly skilled work. And you don't want your developers to just work on the nodes to get data. Instead, you want to use a service like Quicknode. So Quicknode is a Web3 developer platform which provides you RPCs as well as other enhanced tools as well. So the RPCs, or the core API, is consisted of multiple nodes which are distributed throughout the globe. So we have a global infrastructure. It doesn't matter from wherever you are calling the Quicknode node from. It can be Europe, America, Asia, Africa, South America, anywhere. It doesn't matter. That whatever the location is, you will get highest speed because we have our infrastructure spread out throughout the globe. And based on your location, our system will automatically connect you to the nearest possible facility. And for reliability purposes, we are multi-cloud. We just do not rely on one cloud provider or server provider, so that if one cloud provider goes down or server provider goes down, we are still running, because we do not rely on just one provider. We are multi-cloud, multi-server protocol. And it, it does not depend, or it does not matter how many number of requests you want to send to the Quicknode API. It's an elastic, scalable API. And since we have multiple nodes in multiple regions, however number of requests you want to send to the Quicknode API, the API should be able to handle it. It scales as you grow. And then we have our support team to help you resolve any kind of issues or queries you have. You just have to reach out to them and they'll get back to you as quickly as possible and hold your hand until your problem is solved. And then we have security options as well. You can do whitelist, referral whitelisting, you can do IP address whitelisting, you can also do smart contract whitelisting for EVM chains, and then you can also do domain masking so that you can create a domain mask for your Quicknode RPC URL or endpoint. So that's these were the security features. And now let's talk about a brief architectural overview of how Quicknode works. So on the user side, user has HTTPS and WebSocket URLs or endpoints. Using those, they can send or receive data from blockchain. So let's say if someone sends a request to get a particular data piece from the blockchain using a HTTPS provider, their request will first grow through a DNS router, which will determine their location based on their IP address, and then route their request to the nearest Quicknode facility. And then it goes to a Edge API, which checks the authentication parameters and which checks the load balancing as well. So let's say if your request is going to US East region of Quicknode, and one of the facility in US East is overwhelmed because a lot of people are trying to get some data from a particular blockchain, then what a load balancer will do is it will balance those requests and send your request to the nearest facility in that same region so that it makes sure that your request is always served with a response. And after that, we have the actual main nodes, which are full nodes and archival nodes, using which you get the data. So it reaches the full node and the full node gives the data back and it comes back to the client. So this is a very brief overview of the architecture or how things work under the hood at Quicknode or with the Quicknode API. So it's not just limited to the core API. We also, as I mentioned earlier, we also have other enhanced products. So Marketplace, Quicknode Marketplace is one of them. So on Quicknode Marketplace, there are other tools which are listed, for example, Flashbots, Crossmint, Lurebase. So using these tools, you can achieve more things which you would need to do, like more operations with the Quicknode base RPC URL. But on Marketplace, if you have a Web3 tool or an infrastructure tool, you can just list it on the Marketplace by signing up for a developer account. And then you get access, or your product gets highlighted to Quicknode user base, which is huge. And the Quicknode's users get to use your product. So it's a win-win situation for both the parties. And now let's see how we can actually use Quicknode's near RPC URL to do something. So what we will do today is we will simply deploy a fungible token, which is just like ERC token, but in near. So we will deploy a fungible token. And for that, we will need Quicknode near testnet RPC URL, a near testnet wallet setup, Rust already installed in on your computer or machine, and a near CLI. We'll also need Node.js to install near CLI, but assuming most of you must have already like Node.js already installed on your systems. So let's see how all of these falls into place. So over here, I already have a Near wallet, but I'll set up a new one for this demo or tutorial. So as you can see, I have already tested the demo and I already have some tokens over here. So I'll just go, you just need to go to wallet.testnet.near.org to create a testnet wallet. Then select create new wallet. And so newer wallets are in a human readable format. So you don't need to remember the hashes, long strings of hashes or long strings of characters. You can just create human readable wallets. So I'll create near workshop dot. Okay, so that one's not available. So I'll just create Quicknode workshop. Okay, so it looks like this is available, Quicknode workshop.testnet. So I'll just create a new one and secure the seed phrase. So remember, this is just a wallet for the sake of this tutorial. I won't be sending any funds or won't be receiving any funds on this wallet. So, I mean, it's okay if you want to copy the seed phrase as well. But again, this is just for the sake of this tutorial. All right, so let me calculate the 11th word. Okay. So this should quickly create a testnet near wallet for me. And then once you create a testnet near wallet, you also receive some testnet near tokens in it to pay for your gas fees and to get started building your near application. All right, so as you can see, I already have some testnet near tokens in this wallet. All right. So the next step would be to install near CLI on your computer, which is this. You can just have it installed using Node.js. So it's as simple as npm I near CLI, just like how you install other Node.js or npm packages. I already have it installed on my computer. So what I'll do is I'll do near login. So what this command does is this command will log in your Near wallet, which you just created on the Near wallet web interface. And this command will log in that wallet into your CLI. So when you click Near login, it will open that Near wallet again. You'll need to select which wallet you want to log in with. So I want to log in with this one, Quicknode workshop.testnet, which I just created. So I'll just click on next, connect. I'll need to type the wallet again, wallet name or address again. Let's go back to our terminal. All right. So once it's successfully logged in your CLI, it will say logged in as your wallet address or name with the public key, whatever the public key is, and then successfully. So now we have our wallet connected in our near CLI. So the next step would be to get a Quicknode endpoint. To do that, you can go to quicknode.com, create an account, and then create a near testnet CLI. You can also create a free account. We have a free tier in which you don't even need to put a credit card or anything. You can just create a free account and then start using your near endpoints. But mind it that the free account is just limited to one region. So the speeds on the free account must not be that great. And if you want to really benchmark the speed of a Quicknode RPC like API, you have to be on a build plan or a scale plan, build plan at least. So a Quicknode dashboard looks like this, where you have a lot of endpoints. You can also filter to different networks and chains. So over here, we need near testnet. So I've just filtered it using the filter. And these are the HTTPS and WebSocket provider URLs, which I was talking about in the earlier half of the presentation. So I'll just copy this and have my near CLI use this RPC URL. So for that, you'll have to set up this RPC URL in the near CLI's environment file. For that, you'll just have to do export near CLI testnet RPC server URL, and then do a is equal to sign and just paste your RPC URL over here, then enter. So now if you type near help, it should throw a bunch of like commands, and in the node URL part, you should see your Quicknode RPC URL. Okay, so we have successfully done that. And now to deploy our own fungible tokens, we will follow this guide from Farhad, who is one of my colleagues, who writes really structured, really comprehensive guides on different blockchain topics. So I'll just follow this guide on creating fungible tokens on Near protocol. And to do that, first I'll need to git clone the Near Rust SDK. And before doing that, make sure that you already have Rust installed on your computer, because we will need it for like one command. That's it. But yes, for that one command, we'll need Rust. So make sure you have it installed. So I'll just do git clone near SDK RS, which is the Rust SDK. And I'll just go to the directory. All right, and open a code editor. So I'm using VS Code over here. And once you are in the Rust SDK and you have it opened in your text editor, go to examples, then find fungible tokens, and then find ft source lib.rs. So in that, you'll find the metadata of your token. So you can name it whatever you want. So I'll just name it Quicknode token, and the symbol will be QUC. And the decimals, I think, should be 8. 8 is fine. I'll just save this file, copy the path to this directory, which is fungible tokens. Go back to my terminal, go to this directory. All right, I'll copy the path again. Looks like my terminal didn't like the previous copy. All right, so now I'm in the fungible token directory. And I think now I'll just do build.sh, which should build our fungible token smart contract. So build.sh is nothing but a command, or I mean a file basically, which tells your terminal or code a series of instructions that you have to do this after this and this after that and something like that. So after doing that, you should see we already have this smart contract fungible token.wasm. So to deploy that, I already have the command copied. So it's near deploy wasm file and res/fungible_token.wasm is nothing but the location and the file name of your contract. So res is a directory over here, and our file's name is fungible_token.wasm. So we want to deploy that, and we want to deploy it using our account Quicknode workshop.testnet. So the account ID flag tells the SDK or the near CLI that you want to deploy this contract using this account or account ID. And I'll hit enter now. So as you can see, the account ID is quicknode workshop.testnet, and the node used is our quicknode node. So once it's deployed, it should say done deploying to this. And now what we will do is we will just add some metadata. And for that, we'll do a near contract call. And I have this call copied from my previous run. So you just need to replace the account IDs because we used a different account ID right now. So what's basically this call is saying is that near is the command for near CLI. Call a smart contract, which is at this account ID, not that account ID, but quicknode workshop.testnet, which we just used. So let me quickly change this and I'll explain what that call is doing. All right. So this is saying that do a call to a smart contract, which is at this account ID, and insert a new metadata field for a smart contract, and the owner of that smart contract, which is a smart contract at this ID, the owner of the smart contract is this account ID, which is again the same because we are the ones who have deployed the contracts and we are the ones who are updating a field in that smart contracts metadata. And we are adding a field called total supply with 1,000 tokens. So I'll just I can also increase the total supply of tokens. So from 1,000, maybe I'll increase it to 10,000. Yeah. And to perform this entire function, the account ID used or the account ID to be used should be quicknode workshop.testnet. And this is also called initializing your smart contract. So once you have deployed your WASM smart contract, you'll have to initialize it with some metadata so that it gets invoked and your smart contract is active now after this call. So I am doing that. And as you can see, it's already done. And after every call, it also gives you a Explorer URL. So let's see how it looks like in near Explorer. All right, so as you can see, our contract is deployed and initialized, signed by this address. And also the receiver is this address because as you can see, we use this field, which is signed, which is used for contract address. And we use this field, which is displayed in the receiver address over here. And we use account ID flag with this address or account ID as well, which says signed by. So if you go back to your near wallet and refresh it, you should see a lot of activities around it. So you can see there was there was a contract deployed transaction, and then there was a method call transaction. So contract deploy transaction was when we deployed the smart contract, and method call transaction was when we invoked or initialized the smart contract with a new metadata field of token supply, which is this call. And now the wallet address should have the tokens, but it usually takes some time for the tokens to get loaded in the wallet. But it should look something like this, like we have in this wallet. You see a custom token, Quicknode. Yeah, so this is basically how you use Quicknode's RPC in near CLI. You can deploy different types of smart contracts and different types of you can also interact with different types of smart contract. You just have to embed the Quicknode RPC URL in the near CLI environment. And we did that using this call, export. We did that using this call, export near CLI testnet server URL. And the default RPC URL for near CLI is near's public RPC. So you need to do this step to replace that public RPC in the environment variable with your custom RPC or Quicknode RPC. And if you wanted to use near's mainnet RPC, you just have to erase this testnet part. So it will be near CLI RPC server URL, and you will be able to use mainnet. So let's try to refresh the wallet once again, if we have the token in it already or not. So it looks like it will take some time for token to load here. But going back to our presentation, we saw how we can integrate Quicknode near testnet RPC URL in our near CLI. And then we also created a near testnet wallet, using which we deployed a smart contract for a fungible token on near testnet using our near testnet wallet. So this is how you can create a fungible token on near testnet and deploy it using Quicknode RPC by integrating it in near CLI or command line. And if you want to learn more, or if you want to check more of these, like the guides, you can just go to quicknode.com/guides. We have a lot of different guides on different topics like smart contracts, Ethereum development, Web3 SDKs, DeFi. And if you want to learn more about Quicknode Marketplace, you can go to quicknode.com/marketplace. So we also have documentations for all the RPCs for different chains. So if you want to learn more about the RPCs or the methods which we support for near chain, you can go to quicknode.com/docs and then select near from the dropdown. It's over here, developers, documentation, and you'll see a interface like this. And from this dropdown, select near. And from that, you'll see different RPCs. And let's just try to take one example. This is TX, which is transaction. And you'll get examples in different languages, which is Ruby, JavaScript, and Python. And this is just some simple curl example. We also have a YouTube channel where we keep posting regular video tutorials. So you can just go to Quicknode in YouTube and subscribe to our channel and check out different tutorials. If you like them, give it a like. So I think that's it, and that'll be it from me. Thank you so much for who have been there from the beginning and who will be listening this in the future maybe as well. And if you have any doubts or if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to me personally on Send Sahil Quicknode, and you can reach out to Quicknode at QUICKNODE on Twitter. And I am this on Twitter. That's my same username on Telegram as well. Feel free to ping me on Telegram if you have any doubts around Quicknode or any doubts around build or anything in general. So thank you so much. And I think if anyone has any doubt or anyone has any questions around Near or around Quicknode, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And if you don't have any doubt, or if you have any doubt in future, you already have my Telegram and Twitter handle. So feel free to text me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I do have some few questions or just some things I want to ask and highlight about Quicknode
Yeah.
in general. So like I saw a lot of different blockchain support. That's actually what wanted me to have a workshop for this, because a lot of we're using Quicknode for other chains applications, and we're also integrating Near. So could you kind of quickly go over like all the chains that are supported? There is so much, and yeah, that's actually one of the benefits I think for a lot of people who are building multi-chain infrastructure, that like, all right, you can use Quicknode as your solo provider instead of like, Quicknode and Pagoda's RPC, yeah, and a combination of a bunch of different RPC providers.
Definitely. And thank you so much for the question, actually. So, yes, we support a lot of different chains: Solana, Polygon, Algorand, Arbitrum, Harmony, Optimism, Near, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain. So, yes, it's correct that it's better to stay on one platform for different chains instead of having different RPCs providers for different chains. In that way, it's easier to manage. You don't have to manage different accounts for different chains. On Quicknode, you can have different chains just in one account along with other products as well. So we have token API, NFT API for Ethereum, and we have NFT API for Ethereum and Solana. We recently launched Quick Alerts, which is a like really really nice product for on-chain notifications. I don't think we have it for Near yet, but we will soon have it for Near. So talking about coming back to the point, yes, it's definitely a better option to have all your chains just in one platform instead of managing different providers. And we are also a lot of times, I mean, most of the times, faster than the other providers as well in all of the regions across the globe.
And so can you kind of speak on to the pricing model, because you mentioned a free tier, and then but that being constricted to your local region, I mean to a region, is that region like the most local like
Um,
region, or is it just like a set region by default? How and like, and then can you kind of talk about like the pricing model, and maybe like what scale of application would be suitable for each pricing tier?
yes. So if you are just getting started and just trying to learn development, you should definitely go with the Discover tier. But as I mentioned earlier, it's just limited to one region, and that region may or may not be local to you depending on where you are based. So for different chains, we have a set location just for the free tier. So depending on where you are, it may or may not be your local region because it's a set location for free tier. And for other tiers, which are build and scale, which are paid tiers, it doesn't matter where you are, you'll always get connected to your local region. And the free tier is also limited to number of calls you can make. So you get 10 million API credits. Each RPC method consumes different number of API credits, and you cannot go beyond that. So the free tier is not auto scalable, what we call it, but the other paid tiers like build and scale are auto scalable. It doesn't matter how many number of requests you make to the API will handle it like smoothly without even a hiccup. You get like with the build plan, you obviously get 20 million free API credit, but your API still goes on, still serves requests even beyond that. That's not the case with the free tier. And then there are other differences like uh, requests per second rate limiting, and you can only create one endpoint in the free tier, which is not the same case with the other paid tiers. For example, in build tier, which is the lowest paid plan, in build tier, you can create 10 different endpoints, and all 10 of them can be for different chains, different networks. Whereas in build tier, or whereas in discover tier, which is the free tier, you can only create one endpoint at a time.
And what's
Which
what's exactly like examples of, is it in one instance would you have multiple endpoints for the same chain, or is it traditionally like different endpoints for different chains? Like how would you architect your
yes,
endpoints if you're
let me show you with an example. So as you can see over here, these are different endpoints. So usually what you would do is you would create one endpoint for one chain and network. So for example, you'll create one endpoint for near mainnet. And if you also want to use near testnet, you'll create another endpoint for near testnet. So one endpoint is limited to one network and a chain, one chain and a network. So in the free tier, you won't be able to use multiple. So if you are using near mainnet endpoint, you won't be able to create another one for near testnet. You'll have to be on a paid plan or a paid tier to create multiple ones.
okay? And do people usually have their own endpoint for like staging and like and production, or is it like what do you
Yeah,
see? Okay,
usually they do, because whenever you are staging or whenever you are in the development phase, you want to obviously use a testnet, right? Testnet network. You don't want to test in like mainnet, which is kind of production. So whenever people try to test and deploy, and whenever people are also testing in mainnet, they'll have two different endpoints. One is for testnet, one is for mainnet. And a lot of our users and the clients tend to be multi-chain as well, because that's the future, right? And that's the scenario. You cannot be just limited to one chain. So usually people do have multiple endpoints for different chains, and even for same chain, they have different endpoints for different networks, mainnet, testnet, etc.
and can you go a little bit over the marketplace in terms of like what exactly that has to do? Are these applications that use Quicknote on the back end, or how, like, yeah, how do you get on the
Yes,
marketplace, and like what do they like what
definitely.
is like the benefit?
Yeah. So marketplace consists of different Web3 tools, and these tools are used with Quicknode RPC as a base data or RPC provider. For example, um, this is single flight RPC, which is an internal Quicknode's marketplace add-on. So it gives you an ability to get block data as well as transaction receipts data just in one call. But because usually whenever you do get block, you just get block information and transaction information. And whenever you do transaction, like whenever you want to get transaction receipts, you'll have to get transaction receipts for each transaction within that block, which is like a lot of calls. And imagine doing that for multiple blocks. So using this custom API or using this custom add-on, you can do that in just one method call. But this is QuickNote's internal add-on, so this doesn't answer your question. Whereas if you look at Lua-based SQL API, so you can make RPC calls in Lua-based via Quicknode's RPC using Lua-based and Quicknode's API. So basically what happens is these Web3 tools or these products who want to work with Quicknode Marketplace, they sign up for a developer account, and then they work with Quicknode team to get their API integrated to Quicknode, to the Quicknode platform as a extra add-on. And whenever a user like adds that add-on to their Quicknode account, then that user will be able to use that add-on with the Quicknode's RPC. So for example, Crossmint API, you have custom RPCs or methods which can be used with Quicknode's RPC URL to mint NFTs.
And so you can leverage your existing endpoints that you set up on your Quicknote account
Yes.
and okay.
Yes. With most of the marketplace add-ons, for example, with Crossmint, with Crossmint, with Flashbots, with multi-region transaction, with gas estimate API, with single flight RPC, you will be able to use your existing add-on, existing endpoint. And for some like Lua base, you'll have to go to their platform and integrate your Quicknode RPC on their platform. But with majorities ones, you can just use your RPC and there will be a custom RPC method, which you will be able to use with your Quicknode RPC endpoint or URL and send a custom method for that particular add-on. So yes, you will be able to use your current endpoints.
Yeah, and that's because like I'm seeing here, there's not really any filter currently for near. So that's like a call to action for people who are building infrastructure that uses the Quicknode's RPC. You guys
Yeah.
can like leverage their user base and
Yeah.
and get onto their marketplace by integrating
So
and getting on their marketplace.
let me show you how it gets displayed. So for example, if you were creating a new endpoint, you will do something like this. So you will select near and then mainnet and then continue. So as you can see in this part, configure add-ons, we don't have anything yet for near chain specifically because we just launched near in last month, and we will be adding a lot of different add-ons soon, and a lot of companies and products will be integrating their near add-ons on Quicknet Marketplace soon. But as of now, we don't have any. So yes, this is a call to action to all the developer tools out there. For near, it's your chance to have your tool or product displayed over here, which people or users of Quicknode can use with their Quicknode endpoints.
And then I know also not integrated yet is the quick alerts, but I do want to see what it looks like on other chains. And then like what that alerts, is it like email alerts? Is it Telegram alerts? Is it like what is quick alerts as like a multi-chain product as is?
So Quick Alerts is basically a tool or a product using which you can set alerts for any kind of event or any kind of activity which is happening on chain. So for example, if you want to get notified whenever a wallet receives a transaction or whenever a wallet sends a transaction, or let's say you want to get notified whenever there is a NFT mint on a chain, or you want to get notified whenever a Bored Ape is transferred from one wallet to another, or whenever a Bored Ape is transferred in general. These are just like examples. So you can set up alerts for those. So it looks something like this. It's loading. So it looks something like this, where you can create your alerts. You have to give it a name. So I'll just give it any name quickly. So it's available for these chain as of now. So let me just click on Ethereum. And then once you click on a chain, you will be presented with different templates. These are preset expressions which you can use. So let me just use this one. Okay, so it looks like that I am on the custom plan. All right, so for my account, this won't work because my account isn't paid, but you saw a lot of different endpoints because it's an internal account. So usually whenever you select quick alert and select a chain, you will be represented with different templates. And if you click on that template, you can set up an alert, and then you just have to configure a webhook URL where you want to receive your alert. And that alert is basically the block information for that particular activity or transaction. And then you can just filter out that information and display it on your front end. So
So
you receive
where
a
is it?
webhook.
Okay, so it can okay, so there is no like Telegram or anything. Like you can turn the webhook into a Telegram notification. You can turn it to a Discord. You can.
Yeah, so not yet, but we will be having that functionality in future. So one of the very big YouTuber called Hashlips, he recently created a video on quick alerts where you can create a Discord bot using quick alerts. So you just go to his channel, Hashlips NFT, and there will be a video called Code a Discord Bot using quick alerts from Quicknode. So in this video, he shows you how you can set up a Discord webhook in quick alerts, and then it can receive notifications from chain directly as soon as they happen.
That's really good to know. I
Y-
see right now it's integrated only into Ethereum compatible chains. I'm looking forward to
Yes.
like Solana and Near and much of other L1s as well. Is there like a timeline for like non-EVM alerts or
We don't have hard, or I mean, I don't think we have a timeline for that, but you can go to, yeah, so you can go to roadmap.quicknote.com if you want to, if you want to stay updated with upcoming things or upcoming products. It has tabs for beta, in progress, whatever we are developing. So this will be the best place. And obviously, whenever we release something, even though if it's in beta or it's for general access, we always tweet it. So Twitter or this page, roadmap.quicknote.com, will be the best place for like future implementations, ongoing work, beta products, beta features, and everything. But yes, we will soon be having it for non-EVM L1s as well. But I don't think I can share any timeline yet.
no, awesome. And I also saw there's like a feedback for ideas. So that's great to hear. And yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
people can do with webhooks. I know a lot of other notification services like use like straight to Telegram or like straight to Discord, but yeah, I think it's very developer friendly to like keep it as a webhook. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that come out and keeping track of product updates. And yeah, does anyone else have any questions? I know I asked a lot getting close to the time, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Other than that, is there anything like in general outside of like getting on the marketplace, outside of additional applications on testnet and mainnet, integrating Quicknode that you really want to see for the near ecosystem or like for near developers or near founders to do with Quicknode?
Um, I think just people who, if they can, if you have a really good developer tool or API for Near's ecosystem, which developers can really benefit from, I think you should definitely sign up for a developer account to have your API or tool displayed on QuickNode's marketplace, because it will help the developers develop faster on Near ecosystem or Near chain. So that will be my only request.
Yeah, and I know you guys, this is like pre-ETH Denver for those who are watching. I know Quicknode is going to have a presence at ETH Denver. Near is also going to have a presence as well. Also today, right now, is like the Near Social Hackathon starting, which doesn't require you to work directly as a Rust developer. You can build on JavaScript, build with Quicknode's API, build a quick widget on decentralized front ends. So yeah, if you have any questions, I know the Quicknode team will be at ETH Denver, and Neil will also be there as well. So yeah, shoot us a ping. Thank you so much for coming out, and yeah, have a nice day, everybody.
Thanks.